Good morning. Here we are at Joy Anderson Centre in Palmerston in Grey. We're visiting our dementia-friendly garden. I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Judy Radijak. I'm the Program Manager for Alzheimer's Australia NT. And with me I have Harvey Perez, who is the landscape architect who's been working on the dementia-friendly garden. So welcome, Harvey.
Thank you, Judy.
What we're going to talk about today is around our gardens that care. And Harvey's been working on developing our first dementia-friendly garden in the Northern Territory. Harvey, some of the concepts that you've worked around are based on best practice that have been developed in South Australia.
Yes.
So sustainability is one of the main things that you've spoken about.
Yes. So this important key, how I use when I design this garden is using, for example, irrigation system, hardy plants, have less lawn and put more mulch, something we don't have to look after so much. So that is the key of sustainability.
Fantastic. And so obviously, because we're working with people with dementia where they have changes in their memory, changes in their ability to plan and find their way around places, changes in some of their behaviours, orientation is really important.
Yes. For example, one of very important part of this design was to make the path one loop path, so it's in concrete, and our clients, they can follow this path and they can be always oriented, and we have some features in the garden that help them to be oriented in the garden also.
To find their way.
Yes, find their way, yes.
That's fantastic. And accessibility, I noticed that, you can be in the kitchen and be actually able to look out and be part of the vegetable garden happening in the front yard.
That was very important in the design, was from inside of the house. You can look outside and you can see the veggie garden from the kitchen, from the office. You can see outside and directly from the main office you can see the guys if is sitting in the rest area. The girls, the facilitator, they can have a look where they are, and yeah.
We have a number of socialising areas because remaining connected to your community and being able to sit and have a conversation with people is really important.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. Meaningful activities. We've got a fantastic art group here that meet at Joy Anderson Centre every second Thursday, and they've actually created a number of items that have gone into the garden.
Yeah, so the girls and these clients, they're making a lot of craft. For example, the bath for birds, they're making flower with the records, a lot of recycling, and that's really important to put that in the garden because they feel very empowering with this project. So that's really nice. And another kind of activities we do, sometimes doing some therapeutic horticulture stuff, like I do some cuttings, putting in the pot, we sowing some seeds, so the clients, they feel empowered when they saw the planting growing. So this kind of stuff, Judy.
Yeah, fantastic. And you were telling a story earlier about the ladies that helped do some seedlings the other day. They actually come in once a week to participate in our Stepping Out program, but the minute they've walked in the front gate, they've actually responded to their seedlings and gone straight over to have a look.
They go and have a look in our little nursery, and they were so happy because all the seed coming up. So this kind of activity is really important. It's what we want for this memory garden.
And so memories, making new friends, and reminiscing around the old days, but also the sensory part of the garden is really important.
Yes, we have some, so what I try to use in the garden is some plants, for example, grevilleas. We have couple grevilleas you have around all Australia, and everyone knows grevilleas. Everyone knows callistemol, and we have that in the garden. So to help them to remember these things. And another plants we are using, sensitive plant like Mariah, is like the flowers, they have a smell like a jasmine. And all the veggie garden in the front we have mint, so where they can touch, they can smell, they can have a cherry tomato, and they can have a test in the garden. Just have a look, see all the colors, relax, and have interaction with the garden is what the main thing in this project, Judy.
Fantastic. You also shared a story about one of the gentlemen you've been working with around his memories of growing up in a nursery.
Yes, yes. It was very special because with him, he knows so much about horticulture. So we do cuttings, and he knows exactly where to do the cuttings in the plant. We do in potting mix together. He knows the exactly amount of potting mix we need to use. He knows how to pot in a plant, and also he's really handy person because we do some activities with one old bike, and he knows how to pull out all the piece of the bike, and he knew to put everything in again. I don't know how to do that, and we work as a team. So it was really nice to have them like a volunteers coming to help to build in the garden, and they really helped me.
Fantastic. And the other thing is too, you also shared another story, and as we're sitting here I can hear the birds in the background, about a gentleman who comes to the garden.
Yes.
Who was a ranger.
Yes. So with him was very special because he was a ranger. He worked in conservation in the North Territory. So sometimes when he's very fit, so he helped me to do some hard job in the garden. But when we have a morning tea in the rest area over there, we can have a look. This big tree we have here is the yellow flame tree, and it's really big habitat for birds. So he knows all the scientific names for every bird we have in this tree. Sometimes some birds they are nesting, and he knows the behavior of the bird, which one is the male, which one is the female. So it was really amazing these meetings and work with him because he's helping me to have more knowledge about the nature, and is part of this project be outdoor and have contact with the nature. He knows also, Judy, the difference in the female and male of lizard, the name of the species, so was really helpful. So for that we are making some little habitats in the garden to attract the wildlife.
So you've also developed a flip chart, a book of all
Yes.
the animals that visit the garden as well, so that not only this particular gentleman
Yes.
can be part of developing that project, that
Yes.
book, but also to be able to share it with other people that visit the garden as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's part of sustainability, attracting wildlife, because with all the develop of the urban part in the city, we are moving a little bit all the animals. But if we use native plant, attractive plant with flowers, will be attractive for the clients, but also for butterflies.
So one of the other design principles is around safety. Obviously we work with vulnerable people, people with dementia. So safety is really important for people to be able to engage in the environment. So some of the principles that you've used around safety.
So what we use with the clients I work with, always we're using gloves. Don't touch the soil without gloves. Always they wearing shoes, no thongs. I care about they always have a lot of water. They use sunscreen and also a hat. Yes.
Absolutely.
And having resting, like a lot of resting, sit, have a lot of drink, and come back to work.
Sometimes people with dementia might forget to have those breaks,
Yes.
and they might forget to drink as well. So
Yes.
it's really important to have someone, volunteers, working alongside our clients as well, to be able to
Yeah.
support them. So welcome to our memory garden. It's open to the community, and we invite all people to come in and enjoy the garden, helped by volunteering and supporting us. Thank you to the City of Palmerston, as well as to Harvey and her volunteers and the family and friends that have supported us, and our sponsors as well. Because we couldn't have done it without sponsors.
No, we couldn't done that.
Yeah.
Many people give a hand, even was really beautiful just to asking support and asking donation, and people was happy to do it, Judy.
But that's raising awareness,
Yes,
isn't it, about
yes,
dementia?
Yes, that's really good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.